Anthony. Anthony.
All right. Tonight we present to you the 3 joke-offs. That was a great play on words. When I first heard you say that, I thought you said jerk-offs, and I said, Skinny Tony doesn't work here anymore, does he?
Oh, shit.
Wait. Oh my God. There's actually Skinny Tony fans out here? Wow. All right, but like my dad said, for those of you who don't know me, I am Anthony Cap, Lou's Cap's son, the heir to all of this. Now I know how Bill Gates Jr. feels. All right, so maybe you're going to bring on the entertainment here tonight. These guys have so much experience in their profession of being a bartender. What's the best thing about coming to a dive bar? Right? The bartender, and you have to leave like you slept in a dirty ashtray. All right, so.
Leave my sister out of this.
Tonight we have Lou Cap, been telling jokes on stage with many years as a music and comedy act from the 50s. He has a slight advantage tonight because he's going to laugh louder at his jokes than you all ever will. We also have Ray's Bar regular, Chef Jeff.
How you doing?
Chef Jeff has been a bartender, all right, and also a chef. So as a bartender, you learn how to clean up.
Yeah.
As a chef, you learn how to cook.
Yeah.
You can cook, you can clean. It's a shame you can't legally marry. You make a great wife. And last but not least, we have Ray's Bar favorite bartender, Paul Lee. Hey. He's told so many jokes at Ray's Bar, he's got more laughs than tips. which is why he can't afford his dental insurance. Oh!
Hey.
Not only can Paulie tell a joke, but he can take a joke. His skin is as thick as his glasses.
Hey! What did he say? What did he say?
All right, let's go over how this is going to work. We have 16 categories tonight. All right, and each jokester gets to tell one joke, and you guys decide with the biggest laugh who wins each category. And we'll count out with the 15 categories of different types of jokes, and the last one, any joke they want. All right, the best joke ever. Let's see the total jokes and see the biggest joke off is tonight. Our first category is a man walks into a bar, typical bar joke. Second category, blonde skis. Any blonde or Polish joke. No offense.
If you're blonde and Polish, be careful.
Polly won an R. Okay, any pirate joke. Okay, parrot or pirate joke. A lot of pirate jokes out there. I wish I had a beer. Your Irish jokes out there. Yo, you gonna laugh or what? The Italian jokes tonight. Rainbow riddles. All right, rainbow riddles.
Excuse me.
Oh, sorry.
What do you mean by that?
Any homosexual joke you want tonight?
Excuse me. Have a Chick-fil-A sandwich. Go ahead.
Four-legged, furry, and funny. Any animal joke tonight? Bestiality included. Geriatric gems. Any old jokes? Leaving Lou out of that one. I tell you, these kids today. Any kid joke? Any classroom joke? Any kid joke is a category. Medical mischief. Any joke from the doctor category? Many doctor jokes out there. Somebody call 911. Any fireman or police joke? I do and I don't. Any marriage or divorce joke? That's religious. That's any priest, rabbi, any religion you want to offend, or all of the above. Feel free to do that, guys. You have no problem with that, right?
What?
You have no problem with offending religion?
Religion?
Religion.
Bring it on. I gave up religion for Lent.
Men get laid, women get screwed. Any sex joke you want. Is that how it works? Men get laid and women do get screwed, don't they? Yeah. And jokes that kill. Any funeral or death joke that they can think of. All right. And then we have the bonus round. All right, our first joke teller has been telling jokes so long, he's the one who put the chicken on the side of the road. Give it up for my dad, Mr. Lou Cap. A man walks in their bar. A man walks in their bar. First category. It's a guy from New York. He goes to Texas. And he walks in a bar in Texas.
Sits down next to this big Texan, right? They start bullshitting, have another drink, have a drink. They're bullshitting and talking, you know. And the guy from New York says, "You never heard about these wild parties in Texas?" He says, "I sure like to go to one." So the Texan says, "You know, it's a funny thing you mentioned." He said, "I'm at a party tonight at my ranch." He says, "You seem like a nice guy. You're welcome to come." He said, "I'd love to come. I heard they're really wild." He said, "Oh, man," he says, "there's going to be a lot of drinking." The guy says, "Man, I'm from New York. You see me drinking. I love to drink." He said, "Going to be a lot of sex." The guy says, "Man, it's my favorite thing, sex. I love sex." Right? There's going to be little drugs. He said, "Hey, pal, I'm from New York. I can handle it, okay? I do drugs, too." He said, "Okay." Texan says, "Listen, once in a while a fight breaks out. Not all the time. But once in a while, you know, I said, I understand. I'm from New York. You got sex, you got drugs, you got booze." He said, "Sure, Freddie, I can handle it. I'm from New York." He said, the guy said, "All right, I just want to be upfront with you." He says, "Fine." So they have a few more drinks, and they go out, they get in the Texan's truck. And the guy said to the Texan, "Hey, do I look okay for the party? Or should I go home and get changed?" He says, "You look fine. Only going to be the two of us."
Very good.
All right. Next man walks into a bar, a very own. Learned how to cook, and then became the first chef at Denny's. Come up with that first dish, the Rudy Tooty Flesh and Fruity. Give it up for Chef Jeff.
Thank you everyone. Glad to see so many friendly faces, so many friendly drunken faces. Guy walks into a gay bar. He sits down, he orders a drink, he has a few drinks, and then he notices a few stools down. There's a gorilla sitting next to one of our stools. So he calls the bartender over and he says, "Excuse me, what's up with the gorilla?" The bartender goes, "Oh, that's Skippy, he's our mascot. Watch, he does tricks." So the bartender goes down the gorilla, smacks the gorilla in the head with a bat. The gorilla goes mad. He jumps over the bar, pulls down the bartender's pants, and starts giving him a blowjob right on the spot. After he finishes, the bartender goes up to the drunk, and he says, "Well, what'd you think about that?" The guy goes, "That's really neat." The bartender says, "Would you like to try?" He goes, "Yeah, but do you really need to use the bat?"
All right, Chef Jeff. And last but not least, our next jokester, when he works at Ray's Bar, he's as funny as he is drunk. Give it up for Paulie!
Yeah, I haven't had a drink since March 30th, so I guess I'm not very funny. Yeah! Alright, so this guy walks in the bar, and the bartender doesn't say anything, because he doesn't say anything to him. He just walks in the back, he's looking around, and he walks back into the front, and he's looking around. And then he says to the bartender, he says, "Hey, is there a bathroom here?" The bartender's like, "Yeah, it's right there. It says men on the door, real small." True story. It happens all the time.
A girl gets raped. Oh, it's not funny? And they have a lineup. And one of the guys is Polish. And they bring the girl in. And the Polak said, "That's her."
Oh!
Chef Jeff, you're up.
All right, that was good. Thank you. That was good. I heard about that on CNN. So I heard this morning too on CNN there was a story about a 747 crashing into a Polish graveyard. So far they've recovered 2,000 bodies. Thank you.
So this Polish woman, she has 2 chickens, and the one of them gets sick. So she kills the other chicken and makes chicken soup for it and feeds it to the other chicken. Because women are stupid.
Pirate or parrot joke?
pet store gets a new parrot, and he's really fresh. He's super smart, but he's fresh, right? This guy walks in, he's a steady customer, right? He walks in and the parrot says, "Hey, asshole." So the guy looks, he says, "You asshole." And the guy leaves. Comes back a week later, the parrot says, "You're asshole. I'm talking to you, asshole." This is what this parrot, I'm a steady customer. I've been coming here for years. Goes to find the owner. He says, "You know, I've been coming here for years. You got that new parrot. He's really fresh. Every time I walk in, he calls me an asshole." He said, "You better do something about it. I'm not coming here anymore, and I'm a good customer." Right? So I'm really sorry, buddy. He said, "I know he's super smart." He said, I promise you I'll talk to him, okay?" He said, "I promise. I'll have a talk with him." The guy says, "Okay." Right? So a week goes by. The guy walks in again, and the parrot says, "Hey, you." The guy says, "What?" And the parrot says, "You know."
I love that one.
Very good.
Yep,
Very good. I like that one. My joke is not nearly as long. Not nearly as long. It's a one-liner. It's like, what do you get when you cross a pirate, a pedophile, and a rapper? What? R. Kelly. Thank you.
All right, so this guy, he's a burglar, and he breaks into this house at night and climbs in the window, and he goes in the bedroom, and he's going through the woman's jewelry box, and he hears this voice says, "Jesus is watching you." He ignores it, and then he goes in the closet. He's going in the safe and taking the money, and he hears the voice again, "Jesus is watching you." So he ignores it, and he goes down the fridge and he starts making himself a sandwich. So that's what burglars do. They take your fucking stuff. And he hears the voice again. It says, "Jesus is watching you." And the guy's like, "Who's saying that?" And the voice says, "It's me, Stan the parrot." And he's like, "Who the hell names their parrot Stan?" He's like, "The same people that named the pit bull Jesus."
I wish I had a beer. All right, Irish jokes. Take it away, Lou.
Two Irish guys walk out of a bar. Hey, what could happen?
I never heard of that.
Hey, don't touch my hump.
Listen.
Want to play with it?
Hey, I'll give you 20 minutes to stop that right now. All right.
Feel it, go ahead, feel it.
So I guess it's my turn. All right. Listen, we got any Irish people here? Give a shout out. Ah, you drunk motherfuckers. All right. So listen, did you hear about Clancy? Clancy was the talk of the local parish. Morning, noon, and night, all I do is shag his wife. So the parish priest, he gets word of this. He says, "Clancy, either you abstain from sex or we'll throw you out of the church." So after a month, the priest gets back with Clancy. He says, "Did you abstain?" Clancy says, "Well, Father, the first hour was hell. The first day was hell. You know my wife, she's got the long red hair and that short skirt. Father, she just leaned over the freezer. I saw her there right by the freezer. I had to have her on top of the freezer. It was the best sex of my life." The priest is shocked. He says, "You know, Clancy, we can't let you back in the church." Clancy says, "So that's all right. They won't let us back in the Acme either."
Acme. So it's 10 o'clock in the morning.
It's a big tit.
There's this 6'5", 350-pound Irish guy sitting all by himself at the bar with his drink. And he's sitting there drinking it. This little gay guy looks in the door, comes in, walks up to him, whispers something in his ear. The guy stands up, hits him in the jaw, grabs him by his collar and his belt, throws him out the door, and sits back down to his drink. And the bartender's like, "Yo, buddy, what that little gay guy say to you?" He says, "I don't know, something about a job." Oh.
Oh, you gonna laugh or what? The Italian jokes. I'm sure there's no Italians here on this corner bar in South Philly.
Boy, this teacher's teaching us third grade class. And she says, this little girl, she says, if your father bought you a bike for Christmas, right? She says, where would he hide it? She says, in the attic, because I'm afraid of a ghost. I never go in the attic, you know. So she said, this little boy, she says, Jimmy, if your father bought you a bike for Christmas, where would he hide it? He said, in his tool shed, because I'm not allowed near his tools. So she said, the little Italian kid, hey, Nunzio, if your father bought you a bike, where would he hide it? He said, oh, in his pants. She said, no, Nunzio, I'm talking about a big bike. If he bought you a bike for Christmas, where would he hide it? He said, in his pants. She said, what are you talking about? He said, just last night, I said, Dad, can I have a bike for Christmas? He said, I got your bike right here.
That's how do I follow that? All right, listen, I got your joke right here. All right, listen, here we go, listen, there was this Alitalia flight flying from Rome to America. Halfway across the Atlantic, they run into trouble. The pilot makes an announcement. He says, we're going down. This woman in the first class, she says, oh my God, I'm gonna die. Before I die, is there any man on this plane that can make me feel like a woman? In the back, in coach, because that's where the Italians fly. There's this big strapping guy. He's got jet black hair. He's got muscles on his muscles. He's got his chains, and he comes up. He goes, I can make you feel like a woman. He walks up. He starts unbuttoning his shirt. He gets up to first class. He looks her in the eyes. He says, you want to feel like a woman? She goes, yeah. He takes off his shirt. He hands it to her. He goes, here, iron this. Thank you.
So this English woman, an American woman, and an Italian woman, they're all into like women's lib, and they want to liberate themselves from the servitude of like domestic slavery from their husbands. And they do this, and they meet up like a month later, and the English woman's like, I told my husband that I was no longer going to do any of the cooking for him. And the first day, I saw nothing. And the second day, I saw nothing. But on the third day, he made a lovely leg of lamb roast and dinner for both of us, and it was lovely. And the American woman's like, oh, that's pretty nice, yeah. I told my husband that, what did she tell her? Oh, yeah. She said to her husband, I'm no longer going to do any of your laundry. So, the first day, I saw nothing. And the second day, I saw nothing. But the third day, he not only did all his laundry, he did all my laundry and the ironing. And they're like, oh, well, that's lovely. And the Italian woman said, yeah, I told my husband, I not do the shopping no more for you. And the first day, I saw nothing. And the second day, I saw nothing. And the third day, I see a little with my left eye.
All right, let's see
I'm dying over
what we
here.
do with the rainbow riddles. Here we go.
Excuse me?
Two gay guys live together. And, is that funny? And one comes home from work, and he walks in, and the second guy says, you know, he said, I think there's something stuck out my ass. He said, put your finger up here and feel. He says, okay. So he puts his finger up there. He said, I don't feel anything. He said, I know something's up there. Go higher. So he goes higher. He said, I still don't feel anything. He said, I know something's up there. Go higher. So he puts his finger way up there. He says, oh my God, there is something stuck up there. He said, oh, pull it out, pull it out. So he pulls it out. He says, my God, there's a Rolex watch stuck up your ass. How'd this get here? And the other gay guy says, happy birthday to you.
All right. Now,
It's so bad, it's good.
It's so bad, it's good. You're fabulous. That joke is so good, I got to tell two jokes to try to counter it. First of all, Why do gay men go like this? Why? Because there's not enough room to go like this. Second of all, did you hear about the gay man who worked at the sperm bank? They fired him for drinking on the job? Oh, what do you get when you cross a gay guy and a Joe? A fabulous Broadway musical. Thank you, I'm done now. Thank you.
You know the difference between a gay guy and a Nazi? About 90 degrees.
This guy meets this girl in a bar and he takes her home and she has a cat. He says, I hate cats. Right? He's touching his leg. She says, hey, it's his house, okay? She said, we just met and you took me home. It's his house, right? Takes her out a couple times more. This cat keeps coming near him and he says to the girl, look, I hate cats, please. She says, it's his house, right? So a few more times he goes over there, right? And they wind up one night, they get all naked and they're in bed. And they're having sex. And he's going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. All of a sudden, he says, I feel something licking my balls. He turns around, he says to the girl, hey, your cat's licking my balls. She says, kick him off the bed. He said, hey, it's his house. Better off, girl.
All right, so what is this? This is animal jokes, all right? Animal jokes. I'm looking around the room, I'm seeing fucking animal. Anyway, here we go. Let's go. We got two flies sitting on a pile of steaming hot shit. One of the flies rips a vicious part. The other fly looks at him and goes, oh, I'm eating over here.
So this dog walks into a Western Union office and he starts filling out the ticket. He writes woof, 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 woof. And he gets in line. All right, so he finally gets up to the window. He hands the ticket to the guy. The guy looks at it. He's like, you know, for the same price, you could get 2 more words. And the dog's like, well, that wouldn't make any sense.
All right, geriatric gems. Here we go, Lou. Here's your category. Geriatric.
Nice.
Old Joe.
Old people, Joe.
Old people.
Lou, pay attention. Old people. Old people. Pay attention.
This old guy, all right, where's my son? Where's my son? Wait a minute.
Yeah. He's got to empty his adult diaper.
Can you read that? Can you read that? All right. This old guy is standing on South Street, right? An old man, and he's waiting for a bus. And right next to him, this punk rocker. He had orange, green, purple, yellow hair, you know. The old man keeps staring at him, right? So finally the kid looks up and says, what the fuck are you staring at, Pop? He says, something wrong? He says, I'm really sorry, son. He says, but I don't mean to be rude and stare at you. He says, but when I was young, I was really wild. He says, and one time I fucked a parrot and I thought maybe you were my kid.
Oh. Very good. Very good. That actually is a parrot joke. That's not an old people joke. Well, it's an old guy. Yeah.
Louis called it. They're all old people jokes.
They're all old people jokes. Yeah, everybody. Listen, okay. What's the best part about going senile? You can hide your own Easter eggs. Paul, you're up.
All right, so this old guy's not feeling very good. So him and his wife go to the doctor's one morning, and he's waiting. The doctor comes in and he's like, what's wrong? He's like, I don't know, I just don't feel right. And so the doctor's like, well, we're going to have to perform a series of tests. I'm going to need a stool sample, a urine sample, and a blood sample from you. And the old guy says to his wife, what did he say? And she says, he said he needs a pair of your underpants.
Any kid joke? Kid!
Yeah, let me.
Classroom?
Can I start?
You want to go first? You go first.
I'll go start.
Let him get his
It's
stuff
simple,
there.
it's easy, and it's fucking obnoxious. The kid joke, all right. How do you make a 3-year-old cry twice? When you're done, you wipe your dick off with their teddy bear. Thank you. Fuck you back. Feel the love. Feel the love. Fabulous. Oh, thank you. Yeah. You know you're only getting me hard. Stop it.
This little kid is sitting on the curb. He's 8 years old and he's smoking, right? So this guy comes by and says, "Son, aren't you too young to be smoking?" Right? So the kid says, "My grandfather lived to be 85 years old." And the old man said, "Did he smoke?" He says, "No, he minded his own fucking business."
So this traveling salesman's going around early in the morning, walks up to this door 9 o'clock in the morning, rings the doorbell. 5-year-old kid opens the door. In his underpants, he's got a can of Budweiser, he's smoking a cigarette. Salesman says, "Excuse me, little boy, is your mommy home?" The kid says, "What the fuck do you think?"
Me off, son. You throw me off there. All right, a doctor joke. All right, this real young pretty girl, really well built. She goes to the doctor's with her grandmother, right? So she walks in, and the doctor says, "What are you here for?" And the girl says, "A physical." So he says, "Oh, go behind that curtain, take all your clothes off." She said, "Oh, it's not for me, it's for my grandmother." He said, "Oh, stick your tongue out."
All right.
Wrong doctor.
Now that you're here.
All right. This guy goes to the doctor. He's got a problem. He wants to get a penis enlargement. So he goes to the doctor. The doctor says, "Pull down your pants." The doctor looks at his junk and says, "Well, I think we can help you out. We got a new procedure where we can graft the baby elephant trunk on the end of your junk. We can make you a whole man." So, thank you. Who's laughing already? Fucking guy. Hold on. Wait a minute. So anyway, the guy gets a procedure done. He gets the baby elephant trunk grafted onto his penis. A few days in the hospital. He's out with his wife, having dinner, celebrating. They're at a very fancy restaurant. All of a sudden, they're sitting there. Out of nowhere, a baby elephant trunk comes up underneath the table, grabs off of his wife's plate, grabs a baked potato, and then disappears underneath the table. The wife is shocked. She goes, "What the hell was that? Can you do that again?" He goes, "I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think my ass can take another baked potato."
So this guy takes his 13-year-old daughter to the doctor's for a checkup. And the doctor says to him confidentially, he's like, I have to ask you some questions before I do the checkup, about your daughter. He says, all right. He's like, is your daughter sexually active? And he says, nah, she just lays there like her mother.
Oh! All right, somebody call 911. We have some police and firemen jokes coming up.
There's a 3-alarm fire. And the chief says to this guy, Joe, he says, "Go in the back of the building and see how bad it is." 15 minutes goes by, Joe's never coming back. So he says, "There's other firemen, go check on Joe." Another 15 minutes, he's not coming back. So the chief says, "I hope they're okay. Let me go check on him." So the chief goes back there. Look at the second guy, he's got Joe in the alley, he's got his pants down, he's screwing him in the ass. Chief says, "What's going on over here?" So I said, "Chief," he said, "Joe had smoke inhalation." He said, "I pulled him out of the building. I saved his life." He said, "You're supposed to give him mouth-to-mouth resuscitation." He said, "How do you think this started?"
Oh.
Yeah, you be yelling Polly.
Yeah. Here, I'm going to give that back to you. It's full. Thank you. Hey, all right. Ha-ha. Happy birthday. Thanks for ruining my set. Anyway. So this is a cop joke. We got this white bread Wall Streeter inside trader jerk off going to Club Fed for prison, and he's nervous. So he's being processed. The cop sees he's processing the guy. He sees he's nervous. He comes up and he asks him. He says, "You're a little nervous, aren't you?" He goes, "Yeah, I've never been in prison. I don't know what to expect." Cop says, "Well, listen, I'm going to tell you something. It's the stories you hear about prison aren't true. On Mondays, every Monday, we have a fabulous get-together with the guards. You like baseball?" He goes, "Yeah. We have a get-together. We have a game with the guards where we play baseball, us against the guards, and it's a beautiful thing." He says, "That sounds pretty good." He says, "On Tuesdays, do you like Italian food?" "Yeah." "Well, on Tuesdays here at the prison, here at Club Fed, we have Italian chef come in and cook special cuisine just for the guys here at Club Fed." He goes, "That's amazing." He says, "Do you like movies?" He said, "I love movies." I said, "Yeah, like I was in prison. Like I was ever in prison." Anyway, he says, "Do you ever like movies?" So he says, "Yeah." So he says, "Listen, we have first run movies. The last week we had, we had the new Batman movie. Great. So what's the problem?" The guy said, "Well, on Thursdays, are you gay?" He says, "Well, no, I'm not. Actually, I'm straight and I got a wife with 3 kids." He goes, "You're not going to like Thursdays. You're not going to like Thursdays. All right. Give me my condom back."
Is it over yet?
Yeah, well.
So this guy calls 911. The operator answers. She says, "911, what's the nature of your emergency?" He says, "My 4-year-old son just swallowed a condom." And she says, "Hold on, I'll connect you with you." He's like, "No, wait, it's all right. I found another one."
Marriage or divorce? First come marriage, then comes a baby, then comes divorce.
All right. This fellow was recently divorced. The fellow was recently divorced. And he took his friend back to his apartment. And they walk in, and his friend says, "What's that tampon doing on top of your TV?" He said, "It reminded me of the cunt that took my DVD player."
All right, marriage or divorce? Marriage or divorce? Okay, here you go. What did the cannibal do after he dumped his wife? What? He wiped his ass.
That's good. We're getting this one
I never heard that one before. All right, so this guy comes home with 2 dozen roses. He says, "Honey, I'm home," and goes to hand her the roses. She's like, "Oh, I guess you expect me to, lay there with my legs spread for the next 3 days." He says, "Don't you have a vase?"
All right, next, that's religious. Okay, so it could be your Jewish joke, priest and a rabbi, any religion joke you like. All right, I'll be ready.
A priest goes to the barber shop, and he gets a haircut, and he gets done, and he says to the barber, "How much do I owe you?" He said, "Nothing. You're a man of the cloth. I can't charge you." He said, "That's really nice, right?" So the next morning, the barber went to work, and he found a big bottle of Chianti in front of his door from the priest. He said, "Oh, that's so nice. Look at that. He appreciated it." That same day, a minister comes, and he gets a haircut. Right? And he said, "How much I owe you?" He said, "I can't charge you. You're a man of the cloth." He says, "It's free. It's on me, right?" The next day, he goes, he finds a basket of fruit for a minister. He said, "That's so nice, right?" Third day, a rabbi comes, sits down and gets a haircut. He says, "What owe you?" He says, "Nothing. You're a man of the cloth." He says, "And it's on me." The next day, there was 10 rabbis lined up to get a haircut.
Very good. That was a good joke. I too have a Jewish joke. There was an airplane crash in the desert, and the survivors It was an Italian, a German, and a Jewish guy. And they crawled for a number of days on their hands and knees in the hot sun until they finally found an oasis. They found a cantina where they could save themselves. So the Italian guy, he crawls up into the cantina and he says, I'm tired, I'm thirsty, I need the wine. I must have the wine. The bartender gives him a wine. The German, he crawls up, he stands up and he goes, I'm tired and I'm thirsty, I must have beer. Beer! Dankeschön. The Jewish guy crawls up, he stands up in the bar and he goes, well, I'm tired and I'm thirsty, I must have diabetes.
All right, so this guy walks into church, he goes into confessional, he sits down, he says, Father, for the past 3 months I've been having sex with a 16-year-old girl. And the priest says, well, do you confess your sins before our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ? And the guy says, no. The priest says, I'm sorry, are you Catholic? He says, no, I'm Jewish. The priest says, I don't understand, why are you telling me this? He says, I don't know, I'm telling everybody.
Men get laid, then women get screwed.
Okay.
All right, any sex jokes you want?
To you, Margaret. Couples having sex on the beach. I says, is it in? And the girl says, no, it's in the sand. He said, is it in now? She says, no, it's in the sand. He said, is it in now? She says, yeah, it's in now. He says, put it back in the sand. That was my prom date.
That girl Sandy?
Her name was Sandy. Her name was Sandy.
Son of a bitch.
She had a dry sense of humor. All right, sex-related joke. What's the difference between pussy and apple pie? What? You can eat your mother's apple pie.
So this rich guy and this poor guy are sitting around talking about their wives. The rich guy's like, yeah, my wife's birthday's coming up. For her birthday, I got her a diamond necklace and a new Mercedes. I figure she don't like the diamond necklace. She could drive it back to the jewelry store in her new Mercedes. The poor guy's like, yeah, that's all right. My wife's birthday's coming up too. For her birthday, I got her a t-shirt and a dildo. I figure she don't like the t-shirt. She can fuck herself.
All right, jokes that kill. Death, funeral. Here we go. Funeral jokes.
This woman's husband passed away, and she went to see him before he was laid out, and he was in a brown suit. She says, oh my God, she says, my husband never wore a brown suit his whole life. He wore a blue serge suit. His friends won't even recognize him. You got to put him in a blue suit. He says, lady, it's 10 minutes. People will be coming. He said, I don't have time for that. She said, if you don't put him in a blue suit, I'm not paying you. He said, all right, give me time. Go, leave. Just leave me by myself, right? So people come in. Sure enough, he was in a blue suit. He looked really fine, right? So the next day, she went and paid him, and she says, by the way, I want to thank you for my husband. He looked great in that blue suit. He said, well, we didn't have much time. He says, we lucked out. He said, there was a guy in the next room that had a blue suit. She says, oh, you switched suits right away? He said, I didn't have time for that. I switched heads. Look at her shaking her head. Guess she's laughing. It's funny when they don't like it, they go, wah ha 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 ha.
Jokes that kill. Jokes that kill. Well, listen, you know that's a hard subject. Does everyone remember the Batman premiere that happened in July? Yeah. Oh, look, I heard they made a killing at the box office. Do I slap the dick out of your mouth while you're trying to have fun? Relax. Will, it's good to see you back in men's clothes. Relax. Will, you talk so much shit, your face ought to wear a diaper. I tell you to go fuck yourself, but you'd probably throw out a hip trying. I'm sorry, I digress.
He's too drunk to fuck himself.
He's gonna try a new sexual position. He's gonna switch hands.
Oh, is it my turn?